This is the animal cell. This is a eukaryote cell that is from multicellular organisms. In this picture, it shows all the organelles that I will be talking about today. But don't get confused with the plant cell. The animal cell is way cooler. Let's start with the cell membrane. In the animal cell, the cell membrane is to support and protect the cell from its surroundings. A way to think about it is our skin and how it supports our insides, but also protects our insides from our surroundings or outsides. In a plant cell, it would be like the outside layer around the cell. But in the plant cell would also have a cell wall, which is kind of like a second layer of protection for the cell. The animal cell does not have that second layer of protection. Moving on to the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm in the animal cell is the substance between the cell membrane and the nucleus. It keeps all the other organelles in place so they don't move around too much and get hurt. It's kind of like jello. It allows movement, but not too much. In the plant cell, it's the same thing. The nucleus in the animal cell is like the control center for the entire cell. Almost all the DNA for the cell is stored there, and the nucleus knows all the functions for the cell. Inside the nucleus is the nucleolus, which is where the start of ribosomes begin, and then the ribosomes are transferred from the nucleolus to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, is where the start of the protein journey begins. In the plant cell, the nucleus performs the same tasks. The mitochondria. The mitochondria of the animal cell provides the energy the cell needs to move, divide, produce secretory products, and contract. In short, they're like the power centers of the cell. They're about the size of bacteria, but they may have different shapes depending on the cell type. In the plant cell, it can also produce energy, but in the plant cell, it also uses chloroplast energy, which is energy that comes from the sun. Now moving on to lysosomes. Lysosomes are the same in animal cells as they are in the plant cells. They digest bacteria or other organelles that are not useful. Now on to the rough-ER, or rough endoplasmic reticulum. They look like there's little dots all over them, but they aren't really dots, they're ribosomes, because rough-ER is like the highway for ribosomes to begin. Now, ribosomes are proteins, or they create proteins, which just means that the rough ER is like a highway for proteins to be distributed throughout the cell. In the plant cell, the rough ER is the exact same as it is in the animal cell. Now going on to the smooth ER, or smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum gets its name because it looks smooth, compared to the rough ER, where the rough ER has a bunch of ribosomes on the surface. It doesn't mean that smooth ER doesn't have ribosomes on the surface, it just means that it's underneath the surface, so we can't see it. Now smooth ER creates lipids, where rough ER creates proteins. Smooth ER is just like the highway for lipids to be distributed throughout the cell. Vacuoles. Vacuoles in the animal cells tend to be very small, but in plant cells, they're huge. They're like bigger than the nucleus. A vacuole membrane is a membrane-bound sac that plays roles of like digesting and releasing cellular waste of products. It's like your garbage can. You put the waste in, and eventually it empties itself out, or somebody else empties it. Now, centrioles. Centrioles in the animal cell is a ring of 9 groups of fused microtubules. There are 3 microtubules in each group. Microtubules and centrioles are part of the cytoskeleton in the cell. The 2 centrioles are usually arranged in such that one is perpendicular to the other. In the plant cell, it's about the same thing. And last but not least, ribosomes. Ribosomes are packets of RNA and protein that play a crucial role in both prokaryote and eukaryote cells, which means they are in both animal and plant cells. They're the site of protein synthesis. There's a large subunit and a small subunit. Messengers of RNA from the cell nucleus can be moved from the rough ER all the way around the cell, where they transfer RNA. They are made of amino acid molecules, which can lead to protein chains. This was a documentary on the animal cell. Thanks for listening. Bye!